There's a hunger eating you alive. Not for food, not for success, not for love. It's deeper than that. You feel it at 3 a.m. when sleep won't come, in crowded rooms where you feel invisible, during vacations that somehow leave you more empty than before. This isn't depression. This isn't anxiety. This is your soul starving. Every morning, millions of people wake up and put on a mask. The mask says, everything is fine. The mask says, I'm living my best life. The mask says, I'm grateful for what I have. But underneath, something screams. Arthur Schopenhauer knew this scream. He called it the will to live, a blind, relentless force that drives us forward even when we don't know where we're going. We chase, we climb, we consume, and still the hunger grows because we're feeding the wrong part of ourselves. We feed our ego, our image, our bank account, but the soul gets scraps, and a starving soul makes everything taste like ash. Soren Kierkegaard wrote about a sickness that doctors can't cure. He called it the sickness unto death. Not physical death, spiritual death. It's the despair of living as someone else's idea of who you should be. The businessman who dreams of painting. The doctor who wanted to write poetry. The parent who forgot they were once a dreamer. Kierkegaard saw it clearly. Most people die long before their heart stops beating. They die the moment they stop becoming themselves. And society celebrates this death, calls it maturity, responsibility, growing up. But the soul knows better. The soul remembers what was lost. Sigmund Freud discovered something terrifying about the human mind. Most of what drives us lives in darkness. Not evil darkness, just hidden. The dreams we buried, the desires we denied, the parts of ourselves we learned to hate. Freud called this the unconscious. But it's not unconscious because it's weak. It's unconscious because it's too powerful for the daylight world to handle. Think about it. When did you last feel truly wild, truly free, truly alive? Not productive, not successful, not impressive. Just alive. That wildness didn't disappear. It went underground. And now it's starving. If this feels like looking in a mirror you've been avoiding, hit that like button. Subscribe for more truths the world doesn't want you to hear. Friedrich Nietzsche declared, God is dead. But he wasn't celebrating, he was terrifying. Because when the old sources of meaning die, what fills the void? Netflix, social media, shopping, busy work. We become what Nietzsche feared most, the last man. Comfortable, safe, small, living for weekend entertainment and retirement plans. But the human spirit wasn't built for smallness. It was built for something vast, for questions that have no easy answers, for beauty that breaks your heart, for love that changes everything. Nietzsche knew, without something greater than ourselves to reach for, we shrink. We don't become evil. We become nothing. And nothing is hungry, always hungry. Carl Jung discovered that everyone carries a shadow. Not the shadow you see on the ground, the shadow inside. All the parts of yourself you've rejected, hidden, denied. Your anger, your wildness, your darkness, your light. Jung realized something revolutionary. You can't become whole by being good. You become whole by being complete. And completeness means embracing what you've spent a lifetime running from. The person who never gets angry, they're not peaceful. They're half alive. The person who's always positive, they're not happy. They're performing. The person who never takes risks, they're not safe. They're already dead. Your shadow isn't your enemy. It's your missing piece. And until you reclaim it, you'll stay hungry. Simone de Beauvoir wrote, One is not born, but rather becomes a woman. But her insight goes deeper than gender. One is not born, but rather becomes human. Becoming takes courage. The courage to disappoint people. The courage to fail. The courage to be misunderstood. Most people never become. They just continue. They follow scripts written by others. They live lives designed by committee. They die having never met themselves. De Beauvoir knew, freedom isn't something you're given, it's something you take. And taking it means accepting the weight of your own existence, the responsibility of choosing, of creating, of becoming. Jean-Paul Sartre said something that makes most people uncomfortable. Man is condemned to be free. Condemned, not blessed. Condemned. Because freedom is terrifying. It means no one else is responsible for your life. No one else can save you. No one else can live for you. Every day you choose. Even choosing nothing is a choice. And deep down, you know this. That's why the hunger hurts so much. Because part of you knows you're capable of more. Part of you remembers what it felt like to dream without limits. Part of you is still wild, still free, still alive. But you've buried that part under years of shoulds and can'ts. And now it's clawing its way back to the surface. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, wrote in his private journal, "Very little is needed to make a happy life." Not because he had everything, because he understood something profound. The soul doesn't hunger for more, it hungers for depth. Not more experiences, deeper experiences. Not more people, deeper connections. Not more time, more presence. The Stoics knew, you can't control what happens to you, but you can control how deeply you meet what happens. That conversation with your child, you can have it while checking your phone, or you can be completely there. That sunset, you can photograph it for social media, or you can let it change you. That moment of pain, you can numb it, or you can learn from it. The hunger stops when you stop skimming the surface of your own life. The hunger has a name now. It's the call of who you really are. Not who you should be, not who others need you to be, who you are. The part of you that dreams in color, the part that feels everything, the part that refuses to settle for half alive. This isn't about changing everything overnight. It's about changing one moment, this moment. Instead of scrolling, breathe. Instead of rushing, notice. Instead of performing, just be. The philosophers were right. The unexamined life isn't worth living, but they missed something important. The examined life isn't just worth living. It's the only life that satisfies the hunger. If something inside you just woke up, like this video. Share it with someone who's still asleep. Subscribe for more uncomfortable truths. Your soul has been starving long enough. Time to feed it.